All right, so there we have it. Cantaloupe water and green tea. So it is super, 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 super warm today. Look at my new deck. Isn't it pretty? Hello, avocado tree. I just bought a car and I called it a deck. Basically, very expensive investment, but let's see here. Hello. So today, habits, right? So why have I not been as healthy as I can be? Why is my body not operating at its optimum? And it's because of habits. So one habit I have is I am sort of a workhorse. I'm not a workaholic. I think they're different, but I'm like a workhorse. Like I just go, go, go. I enjoy pursuing goals and accomplishing them. And I feel a great sense of responsibility to do things at my best. So I'm not at all comfortable if I'm being like slacking off on something. So I tend to, I get up in the morning and I do a pretty good job. I get up, take a shower, whatever, do my skin care and get dressed. And I tend to get to work on time or a little early if I'm lucky. And I do good. I pack good food for my day. And then I come home at lunch. And the problem is when you work 9 to 6 and everyone else in the world is that you want to engage with works those same hours and you're only off in the morning and the evening on the weekends, of course, when do you call the dentist? When do you call the doctor? When do you call the state to talk to them about your excise tax? When do you do these things? You do them on your lunch hour. So I tend to spend my lunch hour doing things that need to be done and not eating. So then I end up getting back to work and I've got my lunch with me and I haven't even taken a bite yet, usually. So one of my bad habits is eating while I'm working or eating while watching TV or, eating while doing something. And so that's my lunch thing. And that I'm not quite sure what you do about that. What do we all do? I have a 2-hour lunch. I am completely blessed, incredibly lucky to have a 2-hour lunch. And still, it's when I squeeze in things where if I have to make a call you have to call the cell phone company because you're having an issue. You have to, these, oh my goodness. Anyways, I can't even imagine what what do you even do if you have a half an hour or an hour long lunch? What do you do? How do you manage life? I don't know. But so my other habit is that I come home after work and there's like a glorious 3 hours of daylight still. And I immediately think I come home from my job, which is 35 to 40 hours a week, depending on the week. And I come home to my second job, which is either doing stuff for Jordy's business or doing things to maintain the property. So I come home and I have things to do. And especially property stuff, I could put a headlamp on. I can't tell you how many times I've been out there. I bought the headlamps because I was getting tired of using my hose while holding a flashlight, and I'm watering at 11 o'clock at night. Okay. So, but I come home and the first thing I want to do is I want to get out there and take care of business on the property. The idea of sitting down at 6:30 or 7 o'clock at night and eating food bothers me. It drives me crazy because it means that the sunlight's going away. I could be out there mowing. I could be weeding. I could be harvesting the raspberry leaves for tea. I could be checking the greenhouse. I could. Or I could sit down and eat some food. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. So I end up running out and doing things. And then I come back in and it's about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I'm a little bit hungry. And I'm like, if I go to bed hungry, I might get an upset stomach in the middle of the night, or I might wake up with an upset stomach because I'm hungry, or I might have cravings tomorrow that I struggle to control, and I might be more likely to eat unhealthy food. So I'm like, I need to eat some food. But if I eat some food right now at 10 o'clock at night, then I'm going to eat, and I want to eat 2 to 3 hours before I go to bed. But if I stay up for 2 or 3 hours, then I'm not going to go to bed till 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then I don't get enough sleep. So, new habit. I'm going to come home, and I'm just not going to let myself go and do anything at all until I've eaten enough food that I know that I can make it till the next morning. Not like I'm going to starve to death, but like in a healthful way. And then I'm going to go brush my teeth. So probably I'll get food in my stomach around 7, because like I left work and I went and I ran errands. Before Ace Hardware closed, I went and I did something I had to exchange there. And then I went to Island Lumber and I had to talk to them there. So I got home like around 7:15. And then if I eat, I'll probably be done around 7:45, 8 o'clock. I'll have about an hour or so of daylight to get out and do things. And the mosquitoes come out, so that sort of sucks. But I'll eat, I brush my teeth, and then I'm done. The cool thing is, if I'm done eating by 8 at the latest, then if I go to bed at 11, it's 3 hours later. My body is biologically at its best for going to sleep. I shouldn't get late night cravings, which actually is not related just to the gap in time between when you last ate, but it's actually part of our body's hormonal rhythm. So you want to go to sleep as close to the sunset as possible in the summer if you can. 10:30 is really nice, 11 at the latest. And yeah, so that's a new habit that I'm going to adopt. Frankly, probably starting tomorrow. I know I'm supposed to go, I already did it, but I actually have some things to do and I haven't eaten yet. So I think I'm gonna get a couple things started, get some hoses running, then I'll come in and have a little nibble. And yeah, but sometimes you have to decide, you have to decide what you're doing in advance. And I believe in preparation creates success. If I just say, oh, I did this. So when I was pregnant with Jordy, I had friends who were eating 100% raw. And I was like, that sounds great. I'll give it a try. And within like a week, I was like, what do I eat? Which sounds weird, but really it's a thing, because you can only eat so many carrots and leaves of lettuce and apples and bananas and whatnot before you start realizing your body needs other things. So then I read books. I went to classes, cooking classes for raw food. I found a raw food group in West Seattle. I started going to potlucks. I started learning. And then when my youngest son was about 4 months old, 5 months old, I was like, okay, I know enough now. I'm going to go 100% raw. And I ate 100% raw food for a year, including my two sons. So I was nursing two children, a 3-year-old and a 3.5-year-old and a 6-month-old. But they and I went an entire year 100% raw, and it was a great success because I was well prepared. So I'm thinking through tomorrow, and I think part of it will be, I just want to make sure I do have food that's available. And yeah, so new rule. And that's how we build our life to be different than it was in the past and create a new life going forward. Is we have to actually know thyself, figure out what you're doing, and then figure out what you want to do different, why you want to do different. Understand in your head what are the reasons, what are the goals, make sure you're prepared, what can get in your way, what can cause you to fail. Because if you fail, sometimes you go, oh, it's just too hard, I can't do it, and then you give up entirely. So you got to manage it. And so I'm pretty sure I've got enough things going on. I think by tomorrow I'll start this. And it'll be like each week, I want there to be one new thing that I'm doing. So for that week, the only thing that's a little challenging, a little hard is that one thing. Everything else is already programmed in, already a habit, already easy. And then after a week, you're like, okay, yes, I'm getting into that. All right, what do I want to do now? Oh, I'm going to do that. Okay, all right, bada boom, bada boom. Another thing I'm doing right now, I showed you at the beginning, I got cantaloupe with water. It's very hot right now. cantaloupe water, and then I have green tea. So I try to hydrate like no one's business when it's hot, because sometimes when you think you're hungry, you're really thirsty. So I've got cantaloupe water and green tea, and I'm gonna go make a glass of that. I decided to not do boba anymore at home. I like boba. I cook it well. I make it good, but it's from the store. It's not the healthiest thing. It's not a whole natural food, and I will allow myself to have boba every once in a while. If I'm out and about with friends in a particular situation where they're going to get boba, I'll probably get a boba, but I'm not going to buy it and have it around the house. And so I let go of boba, set it up as a special thing I get to do with friends. So there's balance. I'm not too extreme. And adding in a new expectation to come home, sit down, and if I'm not that hungry at 6:30 or 7, I'm just going to eat as much as I want to eat. It's like when you were a kid and you sat down for dinner and you ate dinner, and when you were done, you walked away. That was it. You weren't going to eat till the next morning. You didn't go back in the kitchen for snacks. Mom was like, nope, dinner's over. We're done till tomorrow. That's what I'm doing. And I think it's going to be great. And no more late night. Oh, now I'm hungry because I've gone 7 hours without eating. And, nope. Okay, so that's me. That's learning curve of today, of the week. And the beautiful thing is that as you add these things in patiently, gently, with preparation so that you succeed at them and you're consistent, the body says, thank you for not overloading me. Thank you for not, polluting me. Thank you for not slowing me down and weighing me down and making me struggle. Thank you. And now I get to be at my best. And you just start to feel better in a slowly, consistent, constantly improving way. And that feels so good. All right, that's me. And this is my world that I am enjoying. Look at that beautiful sky. All right, everyone, enjoy summer. Bye.